So here's how we can unlock greater success with one simple shift in something we think and something we do. Years ago, I used to play Tenpin Bowling. It's a long time ago, I have to say. And I was in a team, four of us, four men, or perhaps it was four boys at the time, and we were pretty darn good. And I used to average 172. And the reason I averaged that, which was pretty reasonable, not brilliant, but pretty reasonable, was that I made a shift in the way that I thought about playing Tenpin Bowling, which I've used in my life ever since. This is what happened. I realised that if I was aiming at the pins, I wasn't as accurate as if I aimed at something else. And the something else was the arrows that were on the lane in front of me. I don't know if you've ever been Tenpin bowling, but if you have, you know that there's some short arrows pointing about like that as an arc across the lane at about 2 meters in front of you. And I knew that if I stood in one particular spot, and there were spots on the bit where I was standing ready to start, and I aimed at the right-hand arrow just to the right of the center arrow, I was more likely to hit the pocket, which is what you need to do in order to be successful at knocking the pins down. Now, did it work all the time? No, it didn't. But what does work for me all the time in my life is this expression. I know I cannot take responsibility for my results because there are too many variables, but I can take responsibility for my actions because there aren't. When I sold my business over 30 years ago, and I started then doing sales training for companies that had a number of salespeople in their teams, I would talk to the sales directors about this idea, and it was the one thing they were really concerned about. But I knew I had to tell them about it, and I had to tell the sales teams about it. You cannot take responsibility for your results. There's too many variables. You can take responsibility for your actions because there aren't. And that's exactly the same as aiming short. Or in other words, being fully aware of what the goal actually is that we want to achieve, which is out there, knocking down the pins, soaring through the particular target, but making sure that we change our focus onto aiming at the arrows, or in other words, focusing on the actions that we need to take now. I know this is really a very simple shift, but I've found that if you take this shift and you stop trying to take responsibility for your results and focus on the actions instead, and then measure, that you'll find that works so much better for achieving any goal. There's plenty more of my videos around here. If you like this one, you might like the other ones as well. But in the meantime, I wish you every success in all your adventures in life. Let's keep aiming at the arrows. That way we hit the goals. See you soon. Bye-bye.